If you know me, I tell you to face your fears often. Today, I'm gonna tell you why it's important to actually face your fears and how to do it the right way. Because we know facing fears can be a daunting task, but it is essential. It brings us towards personal growth and overcoming anxiety and OCD. But I'm not just gonna show you how to face your fear, I'm gonna show you what not to do. So let's get started. When we avoid our fears, we allow them to control us. They become even more powerful. However, when we face them, we take control of our lives and we become stronger. When most face a fear, they tend to miss the mark. They're on the right track, they have good intentions, but maybe they're not aiming high enough. Have you ever thrown a basketball directly at the rim? It typically doesn't go in. But just like in basketball, we aim above the rim to make the basket. Essentially, we aim high. Exposure therapy involves gradually facing our fears and responding to them in a whole new way. It can help reduce anxiety and increase feelings of control and confidence. But by facing our fears, we also learn that they're often irrational and unfounded. We may have developed these fears because of past experiences, because of our upbringing, genetics. However, once we face these fears, we realize they're not as scary or dangerous as we once thought. This knowledge can help us overcome our fears, and we find the courage to face other challenges that come in our life. Choosing the right exposures is critical when facing our fears. We want to choose some that are challenging but not overwhelming. If the exposure is too difficult, it can lead to increased anxiety and avoidance. However, if the exposure is too easy, it may not provide the necessary challenge you need to overcome your fear. It's also important to choose an exposure that is relevant to your specific fear. For example, if I have the fear of public speaking, I could start with small speaking engagements. Maybe it's just speaking in front of a small group of friends. But it's not just about doing it, facing the fear. It's responding to it in a whole new way. We're teaching the brain that you are confident. You're gonna take any threat that comes to your brain and anything it produces, and you're saying, yo man, maybe not. They might think that I'm dumb. They might judge me. Will I forget my lines? Yeah, maybe not. Will I faint? Yeah, maybe not. I'm choosing to go with the flow, and I respond to those dangers that I can actually see. Once we become comfortable with this, we can gradually increase the difficulty. Maybe I speak in front of a larger audience. Maybe I post a video on YouTube. Using an analogy, if you think about it this way, if you're lifting weights, you're gradually increasing the difficulty to actually build strength and resilience. You don't just start with the heaviest weights that you could find. It's just not gonna work. We start with the lighter ones, get used to it. You're like, these are boring, man. I can do these easy. Whoa, let's go to the 15s. Let's go to the 20s. Let's go to the 25s. But you're not doing that all on the same day if this is the first time that you're trying it. We start with the small exposures and we gradually increase over time until it's easy. I know what you're thinking. Speaking in front of people is nothing. Mine is about hurting people. It's about going to jail. It's about the major stuff. But guess what? Exposures still work great for you. But wait, I have to hurt people? No. You weren't listening. Just kidding, you were listening. We don't do anything that breaks the law. We don't hurt ourselves. We don't hurt other people. But you may feel like you're in a position where you can't trust yourself or what you're doing or know if it's right, but we risk it. But we do it anyway. Using the analogy of the basketball and aiming a little bit higher, that's often what we do with exposures. I play some video games. I play some VR games. And there's one where I was playing this archery, pulling the arrow back, and I'm like looking at the target and I keep missing. And I'm like, I'm looking right at the dot. Why am I missing? Guess what? Because I didn't aim high enough. I have to aim high for it to actually hit the target. Aim high, hit the target. So for exposures, you're not just doing the minimal things. You might do things that are just not normal and get out of the mindset of people don't normally do this, so I shouldn't have to do it. No, it could be a cracker that fell on the ground. I'm gonna pick it up and eat it. Maybe majority of people wouldn't do that, but it doesn't matter because I'm aiming high to teach my brain that I'm actually gonna be all right. And if I'm not, I'll problem solve that time when it comes. A good place to start is to write down all the triggers and you rank them from easiest to hardest. You start facing them one by one until they just become boring. You also practice not doing those compulsions, having the I don't care responses. Yeah, shoulders back, I don't care, cool. My anxiety's freaking out, but I'm just like, whatever. We've got to retrain our brain to think differently about these fears because our brains are wired to avoid danger and keep us safe, but sometimes those instincts are misdirected or they're just wrong. We're really just teaching our brains we're not in as much danger as you think. Stop it. We're learning new things. So as it teaches us that we can tolerate anxiety, we're getting stronger. So where many face their fear the wrong way, they just get through the moment. I'm doing this, I have to do it, whatever, I'm going. They're just doing it to do it. Let's make it meaningful painful. Let's do something about it. What are all the compulsions I'm gonna not do? All those safety behaviors? I'm gonna face this thing and I'm gonna feel anxiety and I'm gonna love it. And we wanna learn from it. What did I learn from this moment? Was it as bad as I thought it was going to be? That's usually the answer. It's also important to note that recovery from anxiety does not mean complete absence. I'll never feel anxious again. Many people have the wrong idea of what recovery actually looks like. They believe they should be completely anxiety-free. However, anxiety is a natural part of life. We need it, but it's sending that signal a little too often. I know it can be challenging, but it is essential. We gotta do it. What other choice do we have? If you're struggling with anxiety and OCD, take a look at my Master Your OCD online course, because I take you through this step by step, how to beat this thing once and for all. I'm gonna link that down in the description. Also in the comments, let me know what exposures look like for you. What things are you facing? And go watch this video right here. For even more help, please go click. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.